a lot of companies like ourselves, technology companies in Silicon Valley, have hid behind this idea that we're just building platforms. We're just building platforms. What human beings do with these platforms is not our responsibility. Humans are good, humans are bad, but it's not our responsibility what they do with our platforms. And I think that what we, and I'll say we, I know this is a Facebook problem, but I think this is a technology issue. What we fail to understand is that these platforms allow human beings to essentially get like nuclearized. You know, the reach of a person who is not a good person in real life, maybe 10 people, maybe 20 people, on these platforms, it's thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands. So these platforms allow behavior to be amplified in a way that can be wonderful and also can be destructive as well. And when you create these platforms that can amplify with the power of a platform like Facebook, you start having to take responsibility. And I don't think that it was you know, Facebook was trying to shirk it one way or the other. I think there's this idealism in Silicon Valley where we feel very unsafe in making editorial choices. I know you've been making editorial choices your whole life. Technologies don't feel safe doing so. How do you make these calls? How do you make these choices? And I think we're wishing for a world where we didn't have to, and I think that world's over. The development of self-driving technology is incredibly important to take the cost per mile down of using an Uber in order for us to become truly cost competitive with car ownership.
Because there are no more drivers.
There are no more drivers, although I think that's 15 years down the road. It's a long, long time. And if you think about automation, the drama behind automation is like everything is automated or not, when in fact automation goes hybrid for a very long time. You look at manufacturing, it's people and machines working together, and I think that self-driving will be the same thing. You're not going to have robot cars everywhere. You're going to have a combination of robot cars and drivers. And if you get to a world where we become competitive cost-wise with car ownership, today a lot of people think about Uber as being a big company. We represent less than 0.5% of miles driven in the United States. When self-driving prices become competitive with car ownership, then I believe we will be 20, 30, 40% of miles driven. This is a company that's going to be 50 times bigger.